I was just going to, make a little podcast talking about my research essay, which basically focuses on the topic of why should the SEC and Big Ten leave the NCAA and form their own uh, governing body, because the NCAA's and amateurism model is not applicable to today's game. Um, So basically, college football has drastically changed over the past few years with the transfer portal and NIL, and the NCAA has kind of clung to I, their idea that college football needs to be an amateur sport, but they haven't shown that they can do anything to put that into litigation and make that happen. They basically just sit around and let teams do whatever they want. They have no teeth. They have no fangs. Um, so basically, I was saying that the SEC and Big Ten, which are the main sources of profit in college football, they make the most money. They should break off, form their own league where they can control the chaos that envelops college football right now. It would be a more centralized model, and conferences would have more control over media rights, athlete compensation. It would be more controlled, in a more controlled environment, because what's happening right now isn't working. Yeah, basically that's the whole idea of my research essay, and I go into a lot of uh, papers and talk about how smaller projects, have already they've been in the works for a while. I talk about just the NCAA's incompetence, and how the Supreme Court, just basically every legal body that has had a say on it, has told them they really have no authority anymore. Um, there's a bunch of experts that believe that the SEC and Big Ten should break off. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I enjoyed writing um, this essay. It was a good time. Yeah, that's it for the podcast.